Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Shermaine, aka Terry McGinnis, coming at y'all with some Titanfall 2 today. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about my early frustrations with Titanfall 2. And believe me, it has nothing to do with the game itself. Now, I want to keep this chill, mellow, laid back, and positive reinforcement. So that's why I got this beat playing in the background. And let me know if y'all like this. Y'all like having a beat below the commentary. I mean, we can rock with this style for a little bit, or if y'all not feeling it, then hey, we can move on to something else, or just not do it entirely. But as I said previously, has nothing to do with the game itself. I love Titanfall 2. I think it's fantastic. I think it's great, and critics agree. The game has gotten universal praise. I mean, good scores from pretty much anywhere you look. Hell, even on Metacritic, it has like an 85 rating from users, which to me, that's a good sign. It means majority of people are liking what they're playing. That's awesome. That's really awesome. The community's growing. We're getting bigger every day. We're getting people excited. It's dope. It's dope. It's a great time to be a part of the Titanfall community. But my frustration comes from mostly my performance. It's nothing to do with the game itself. I've had the opportunity to play Titanfall 1 for 2 years. 2 years. 2 years. I've been able to play games, play maps over and over and over again, find how I like to play the game, why I like to play the game that way, and find what works for me. And Titanfall 2 has only been out for less than a month, so I can't expect to just, rock everyone's socks off right off the bat, you know what I mean? But I expect that because that's just how I was groomed to be in high school. When it comes to shit that I'm actually really good at, I expect to be, dominant. I expect to be far above average. And right now, it's just, we're going through a little bit of a transition phase, just, working out the kinks. And also in the later half of the video, I want to talk about frustrations for new players because believe me, I know they exist, and I know that some individuals may want to put the game down, but I would highly encourage them not to do so. But we'll get to that later. As I said, I had 2 years of experience with Titanfall 1, and I knew that game like the back of my hand. I knew what people were running, what people like to run at a certain point in time, what was in the meta. I knew what was in the meta for every map, what to expect, and the Titans that people were running, and the situations that I was going to succeed in and going to fail in. I already knew all that stuff. But now, with the redesign of the Titans, as well as these new maps, all these abilities, all this wonderful new stuff, it's going to take an adjustment period for anybody, you know what I mean? Doesn't matter if you're a movement master, there are going to be times where you're just going to die because someone was where you didn't expect them. And that's just because we just haven't figured out what the tendency of players are, the player base, where people like to go, what are the flank routes that most people are always going to take, what are the flank routes that people are probably not going to take that you might want to just poke your head and just check as a just in case, precaution. And that's the stuff that I haven't figured out just quite yet. And it's just been a little frustrating because in Titanfall 1, I mean, the gameplays that we're putting up were usually dominant. Dominant gameplays, great gameplays. I mean, the sheer amount of perfections that I've gotten in Titanfall 1, I couldn't even fucking count. It's just so many. I'm just really good at that game. And right now, I'm not that great. I'm not saying I suck. I'm not saying I'm average. I'm definitely above average, and for sure, without a doubt. But I'm not where I want to be yet, and that's always frustrating because you always want to be where you think you should be immediately, like right off the bat, like no matter what it is. It doesn't have to be a shooting game. Same thing applies to fighting games as well. Just getting beat by scrubs that people I know I'm better than, that's hard. That's frustrating. You want to be dominant, but you're not used to that kind of game yet. You're not used to that player base yet. You're not used to those tendencies yet, and you're going to lose even in situations where you probably shouldn't have, and you just have to come to accept that as a player. And I'm slowly getting there. Not gonna lie, it still is frustrating because I know that I can be dominant in this game, and I fully expect to be a damn good player, all in due time. And then now I want to talk about the frustrations of a new player to Titanfall 2. Now, for a lot of people, Titanfall 2 is their first Titanfall experience, and it can be overwhelming, to say the least. Definitely, Titanfall 2 can be overwhelming. The pace at which the game plays, how the game plays, the Titan combat, the pilot combat, I mean, they're two vastly different aspects of the game. Titan combat is one half of the equation, the other half is pilot combat, and vice versa. You can excel in one area and just be straight shit in the other. That's just how the game rocks. You know, that's how the world rocks. You know what I'm saying? You can be good at one thing, but you can just be totally bad at the other thing. A lot of the complaints that people had in the first stemmed from a lack of flow, in quotation marks. I mean, at this point, I don't even know what that even means. I always thought the game had flow, but I'm fucking biased. The game is crazy. You're gonna get shot from all different kinds of directions, like every other game. But once you start to get used to that shit, once you start to know where people are going to be, I mean, everything, it's like any other game to me when it comes to predicting player routes. You just gotta know the people's behavior, and all that comes with this experience. But the thing about new players is most of y'all are not used to this kind of pace as well as mobility. I mean, Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare try to emulate it, but you can ask any Titanfall player and it is the clunkiest feeling thing ever. So players from other games might believe that they could easily jump into Titanfall 2 and have instant success, and could very quickly realize that that's not the case. And these discouraged players will give every justification they can think of to not play the game, such as the game's too chaotic, it has no flow, or there isn't enough content for me to play the game. And it's like, you know what, you can tell yourself whatever the hell you want to try and forget that you actually suck at a video game. I don't give a shit about players like those or players like that, because they're gonna dip in and they're gonna dip out. The people that I do care about are the ones that realize that, hey, you know what, Titanfall 2 is actually a pretty deep experience for a first-person shooter, more so than most of the shit that I've played before. And even though I might not be good, I want to continue to get better at it because I have a lot of fun and I like what I'm playing. Those are the people that I'm excited about, because they're going to stick around. Just because a little bit of adversity hits, they're not going to turn tail and hide and run. That's the kind of people that we need in the community, because individuals like that can endure some adversity, like the OGs, when we had nobody playing our game, when we had nobody making content about our game, nobody covering our game, we still stuck around. And now we have more people playing Titanfall than we've ever had before, and it's a great time to be a part of the Titanfall 2 community, or Titanfall community as a whole, I should say. So I really hope that this message gets to the new players, as well as some of the OGs that are a little bit frustrated. You know, it's gonna take time. You're not gonna be great right off the bat, but as long as you stick with it, you are going to get better and you are going to have fun. Thank you all for watching the video. I really appreciate it. My name is Shemaine, and I'm out. Peace. Have a good day.